Hi and salams everyone. So sorry, excuse me. My voice is a bit croaky, it's in the morning. So I done a video about me transplanting my leeks, and I think there's quite a few questions in terms of people maybe wondering, how do you sow, whether it's leeks, onions, like how do you start that from seeds, because I think some people really struggle. So that's what I'm going to show you today. So today I'm going to be doing onions. These are spring onions, by the way. This is a great time. I mean, we're in the middle of June. So this is a great time to start some spring onions, just to kind of fill in the gap if you're running out of onions. And I'm also going to be doing some lettuce, because this is a loose lettuce leaf and the technique is the same. So what do you need? Obviously you need your seeds. You need your, I'm doing it in trays. I'm going to be using a propagator. I did a video mentioning, I think the video is about to do with how to protect your seedlings from slugs. So I did a whole kind of talk about why I really like this propagator from B&M. So that's the one that I'm going to be using. And then obviously you just need your compost, which I have here. So what I've done, which I didn't show on camera, is I have my compost and I boiled my water to like 100 degrees, or basically hot, and poured the water, hot water, into the compost. And number one, that just, because I'm bringing it into the house, if there's any bugs or anything like that, or eggs, it get rid of it. And also I like my compost quite moist whenever I am starting my seeds. This is for both techniques. So that's what I've done now, and the way I know it, I'm just trying to mix this with one hand. But the idea is that I want to be able to squeeze it. There shouldn't be too much water dripping out. And when I let go, it should hold its shape like this and then crumble easily. So that's how you know it's ready. If it does not hold its shape, then you know you haven't put enough water. If it's really, really mushy and squidgy, and then it's just too wet, so you just add more compost. So obviously I've been doing it for years, so I kind of have the eye of how much water to put in, but just in case. Now there's a special technique of how you fill up the tray, which I am going to show you now. So let me just mix the compost and then I will start filling up the trays. Okay, so I've just turned on the light so you can see what I'm doing. So the first thing you do is you fill up the trays. Now this technique is slightly different, and you're going to see, because some people that has been to either my workshops or online, either online or in person, you may say, but this is slightly different, and you're going to see why. So again, you fill up your trays, and then what you want to do is you want to push again. So this bit's the same, where you push it down, so you can see there's going to be quite a lot of space once you push it down. So I've got one that I've done. So as you can see, when you pack it, there's quite a lot of space now. Now usually when planting other seeds, I would say, you know, get more compost and fill it up to the top. But in this case, you don't. Because when it comes to over sowing, which is what we're doing, over sowing meaning that you're going to be putting quite a lot of seeds into into each tray. You want to have a nice firm soil underneath, and then you're going to put your seeds in and then put the compost on top. So let me show you now. So bearing in mind, I'm trying to do this one-handed. So these are my onion seeds. As you can see, they are really, really tiny. Look at my finger in comparison to the seed. So now again, I've packed it down. But remember, this is different. We put the seeds in first and then we sow. Okay, so again, this is only for when you're doing either onions or any onions, leeks, like any of that family, or if you're doing over sowing, so whether it's like lettuce, for example. So I don't do all my lettuces like this, but this particular one where it's a loose lettuce and I'm trying to over sow, that's when I use this method. So again, you just sprinkle your seeds, bismillah, and you just want to just kind of, don't be too worried about where it lays. You kind of just want to make sure that there's like an even amount all over. I'm not sure if you're getting this. So this is quite a big cell, so obviously depending on your pot size, but you just want it to be, make sure you cover each part of the cell. You don't want to waste any space. And don't worry, you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, there's a lot of seeds in there, but that's kind of what you want. And you will notice that later on, once it grows, if you watch my how to sow leeks video, you will see why I take it out and I separate them. So yeah, and now I'm going to try and do this one cell. You would then add, obviously you would do all of the cells with your onions, then you add your compost on top. But this time you don't push, you just fill it up to the top like that. And I just realized that by doing it this way, it keeps the seeds nice and moist, and when it grows you get a bit of bulb as well because it's underneath, so it's able to grow properly. And then it's just as simple as that. And with your lettuce you do exactly the same. You just sprinkle a bit, add your compost, and just remember to label, and it's as simple as that. So this is how I did my leeks. I left it outside from the get-go, so I don't have it indoor. I left it outside to germinate outside from the get-go, and waited until it got quite a bit high, and I started to see the white bulbs forming just a little bit at the bottom. Then I know that it's ready to transplant. And then if you watch my how I plant my leeks, that is the next stage where you will space them out. I think with spring onions you can space them a little bit closer, because the idea is that you want it to bulb up, and then once it bulbs up a little bit you're going to harvest it and basically, you know, use it in your everyday cooking. And yep, and this is how I sow my seeds. So again, for onions, spring onions, shallots, leeks, anything within that family, this works. And this also works for loose lettuce. Again, this is the loose lettuce leaf. This works nicely.